everybody, and welcome to another Minecraft Bedrock tutorial. Did you know there are only 3 different types of players in Minecraft? I know. Firstly, we have the 25%, the people who never carry a bow with them, the mad people, and who are absolutely terrible with it. The people who couldn't hit a creeper from 3 blocks away. Then we have the 0.5%, the people who can hit anything and anyone at any time. And then lastly, we have the majority, the 74.5%. Now, sadly, these ones think they're really good with a bow, but actually, they're absolutely terrible. But whatever camp you're in, today's build is going to help, because today we are making another minigame. Today, we are making a shooting range. And I can't wait to show you. Okay, so now you know the rules. Let's actually play a game. So firstly, we need to grab our payment items and our bow and arrow. And what I need to do is pay. So I put my payment item into here, press this button, and as you can see, it only takes 1. And now we are ready. And by the way, this chest here only will take these tokens. If I try and pay with something else, for example, this arrow, it's not going to accept it, okay? It has to be a token. Remember, I only need 6 to get the diamond. Okay, let's go. That's 1. Good start. 2, 3. Oh dear. 4. That's a terrible shot. 5, 6. There we are. 7, 8, 9. Okay. And as you can see there, I got a diamond. So I'm going to play again. I want to get my 10. Primed, and let's go. Right, let's not miss this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we are. There's the 10 out of 10. That's much better. If you're thinking that hitting 6 minecarts is way too easy, don't worry. I got you covered. All you have to do is come around the back here, and in this dropper here, basically change the amount. So at the moment, you need to score 6 basically to get a diamond. But if I place one more item in, now you have to do 7, 8, 9, 10. So if I have 10 items, basically, I have to hit every single minecart. And of course, you can make it easier if you like to. If you want to. So for example, if you're playing on controller, for example, which is a lot harder, you might want to only do 4 items, say. So you have to hit 4 minecarts. So you can see it's very flexible on how you want to play. Now, I know you've seen a bit of it already, but let's just take another quick look at the redstone. And as you can see, it's just, yeah, it's something. Mess is not quite the right word for it. Actually, wait, I'll take off all this and then I'll just show you the redstone. Just 1 second. Okay, so here's the build in its most simplistic form. And, yeah, the redstone is still not the most pretty thing I've ever seen. Looks quite messy, but honestly, I know you're going to hate me for saying this, but it's not too hard to understand, although it does look a bit chaotic right now. Okay, so now you've seen the design and you've seen how it works. Let's get on with this tutorial. So for this amazing build, you're going to need 2 regular pistons, 40 sticky pistons, 24 observers, 24 redstone repeaters, 49 redstone dust, 5 redstone torches, 2 redstone blocks, 64 hoppers, 9 droppers, 2 dispensers, 20 comparators, 17 rubbish blocks placed in a block you don't mind throwing away, 2 chests, 6 powered rails and 14 regular ones, 1 slab, 12 minecarts, 2 stone buttons, 2 sand, 2 cacti, 2 string, 113 blocks for redstone gold, and then having blocks you need for decoration, but you're going to need quite a few. Okay, to start this build, you first need to have a 10 long and 1 wide line like this. Okay, now these blocks here are basically where your minecart is going to be. So those blocks there will be replaced with hoppers later, but it shows you where our first line is going to be, okay? Just some point of reference. So come to the left side, and firstly we need to place a dropper facing upward like this. Then we need to grab a dispenser, not a dropper, and place it like this, facing toward the right. You can see a dispenser's hole is round, where a dropper's is an upside down triangle. After that, we want to remove the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks like this, but leave the 10th, and crouch and have hoppers going toward that bottom dropper. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. All right. Underneath this block, have one down, remove this one, and have a hopper going downward. I remove this block. Then we want to crouch again and place 3 powered rails like this. 1, 2, 3. And then crouch and place rails on the rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right? You follow me so far? Then crouch again. Place it underneath this hopper, or next to this hopper, sorry. One underneath. Remove this top block. Some sand, a cactus, and then some string on top. This string will stop that cactus growing. Then count from this side. 1, 2, 3. And place a hopper going toward this one. And do the same on this side. 1, 2, 3. And then in between these two, we want hoppers going toward the ones in front of them, like so. After that, place a block underneath this hopper and one more. Remove the top one, and then have a dropper facing upward. Make sure it is a dropper, not a dispenser, and remove this block. Now crouch, and this is the back of the build. We need a hopper going toward that dropper, and then a line of hoppers going along like this, all the way up to here. And then lastly, we need a last hopper connecting this hopper and this one. So one facing this way. Okay, after that, we want to grab some decoration blocks. And first you place a temporary one here and one up. And 2 along like this. And the same on this side. So one here, one up, and one to the left. Slabs on top of these hoppers here. Make sure they are slabs, not full blocks. Come out to the back. Temporary block on top of this hopper and one up. And a line of blocks going along. But not next to the cactus. Otherwise that happens. That was stupid. Then a temporary block here. And you can either place a full block or a slab like this. 1 and 2. And the same on this side. That here and here. Okay. Now place another one out the back. And one up. Remove this one. One to the right. One here. And one out again. Remove this one. One toward the right. And then the same on this side. So we want a block. One out. One toward the left. One in the middle. 2 toward the left like this. And remove this block. Now that you've done that, place 2 blocks like this. 1, 2. On the side of this block, facing upward, we need a dropper. Move these 2. And then have a dispenser like this, facing toward the right if we're looking from the back toward the front. Basically the side of your cactus, basically. Then grab a line of hoppers and place them like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But then don't place the 10th yet. Because on the 10th, we need to place a block. One down. Remove this block. Have a hopper facing directly toward that block. And then remove it. Then actually just replace that block we just destroyed. And have one out. Remove this one. This is going well. Then have string. Oh. Then have sand. That is sand. Then have sand and cactus and string. Right. Now, on these hoppers, we need to grab our rail and powered rail. And we need to place 3 powered rails like this. 1, 2, 3. And then the rest rail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Brilliant. Then the last thing we have to do for this section is to place a block here and one down. And then have a dropper facing upward toward that hopper there. Remove this one. Have a hopper going toward that dropper. See it's going toward it. And then have a line of hoppers going all along until here. And then match up this one with this one by placing one here. Now grab some more hoppers and crouch and place them toward these ones here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On top of them, we need slabs. And then have a line of blocks like this. And then if we want, we can place our slabs on top like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so after you've done that, come over to the left-hand side here. And firstly, what we need to do is place a block next to this dispenser. Then 2 down. 1, 2. And remove this middle block and have a comparator going toward the front of our build. temporary block here and one up, and the same on this side, and then dust like this. 1, 2, 3. Place a block next to that bottom dropper, and have a repeater going toward this block here. Now, grab another block, place it here, and have a comparator coming away from that bottom dropper. Then, in front of that comparator, we need a sticky piston facing downward. Then place an observer facing toward the back, so the dot should be going toward the back. And then another observer here with the dot again facing toward the front, but this time the face going toward the back. Temporary block here and one down. Move this top one. Have a repeater on 1 tick delay, again going toward the front, going into a block with dust on it, and a block here. After that, place a temporary block here, one toward the right. Move this one. Have a comparator going toward the right, into a sticky piston, an observer facing this way, an observer facing that way. You can see the faces will be facing each other when this one moves down. A torch here, and a block. And then we want to repeat that, but on that section over here. So, firstly, place a block next to the dispenser and 2 down. With the middle one, comparator going toward the front. 2 blocks on either side. 3 dust, 1, 2, 3. Block here with a repeater on it. Then have a block next to this hopper here with a comparator coming away from that bottom dropper. Sticky piston facing downward, off that comparator, like so. An observer facing toward the back. Underneath this block, have an observer facing toward the front. Block underneath it, one toward the front, with this one. Going away from this observer, we need a repeater. Going into a block. Dust on that block, and another block here. And then lastly, come to this dropper here, place one underneath, one out. Comparator coming away from that dropper, sticky piston in front of that comparator, an observer facing this way, then an observer facing this way, a torch, and a block. Okay, just before we move on, I forgot to do something earlier, okay? So this is going to be slightly tricky to place these comparators in. Basically, you need to place a comparator, one here, so just remove this top block and have a comparator off the second hopper, the second one, okay? And then have another one here, not off this one, off the second one. So remove the top block, come up to the top, and face it coming away from that hopper, okay? So off the second hopper from the right, on this side, and off the second hopper on the left on this side. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so after you've done that, come over to this side again, place a block here, and have a repeater going toward that dust. Then a block here, and 2 out. 1, 2, and dust on all 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, counting this as 1, we need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and have dust on each single one. Then a block of redstone here, and another one. 1 here, and then 3 like this. 1, 2, 3. Then a slab here. You don't need a slab yet, but you will do later. Then a block here, and 1 here, and dust like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on this block, above the sticky piston, we need a repeater going toward the left. Now, place 2 blocks underneath this redstone block. Move the middle one, and have a sticky piston going toward each, like this. Then place another block here. 1 toward the right, 1 toward the left. Remove these 2 blocks just for now, and have 2 regular pistons facing one this way and one this way, with an observer between them like this, just the one, on either side, doesn't really matter, and then 2 blocks like this, 1, 2, and remove these 2. Okay, so for our next bit, just make sure you pay attention because it can get a little bit cramped, so just make sure you follow exactly what I'm doing, alright? So firstly, you want to place a block next to each piston like this, then 1 down, and 2 along, remove this one, and dust on both. Okay, then a block down on this side, have a sticky piston facing upward, block, and have an observer going toward this block like this. Okay, so you see the arrow is going toward that block. Going toward this piston, we need a repeater on 4 tick delay. Block here, 2 out like this, remove this one, and have a comparator going toward this block here. Then have 2 more blocks, 1, 2, have another comparator going toward the back, and then 1 comparator going toward the front. Looks very strange, doesn't it? Then we need to place a temporary block here, one up, remove this one, and have a hopper going directly toward this block here. Then remove this block, and basically we need a line of hoppers, well, not a line, but basically a square of hoppers, like this. So one going toward this one, then one going toward that one, and then finally one going toward that one. You can see those ones, if you place an item in there, it's going to go round and round like this. Now in front of this comparator here, we need to place a piston facing downward, and then a torch. Follow me so far? Then we need to place a block here. Then grab a dropper, face it this way toward the right, and a hopper going directly toward that dropper. Temporary block here, and one out, sorry. With this block. Torch here, which now should lock our hopper. Block down, one toward the right. One out, remove this block. One toward the left, and two more. Comparator going toward that block. Comparator facing this way. Dust, dust, and dust. Now, in this dropper here, we need 10 items. Doesn't matter what item it is, just make sure they're 10. And in this hopper here, we'll need 1 item. So 10 in that one, and 1 in this one. Okay, so after you've done that, come around the back once more. In front of that comparator we placed earlier. Then a sticky piston facing downward on the side of that one. That's why we had the slab there. And an observer here. Temporary block here, and then have a dropper going toward the right underneath that block. Remove this one, and then have a hopper going toward that dropper like this. Alright. Then a temporary block here, one out, and have a comparator coming away from that dropper. Going into a block, and a torch here. Okay, now this is the fun bit. Now we need to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks out and have a hopper. And now we need to remove these blocks up to there. And then have a line of 7 observers going toward that block there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. After that, come to this comparator which we placed earlier. And we want to place a sticky piston facing downward like so. And then an observer facing toward the back like this. Then a temporary block here and 1 down. Remove this one. Then grab another hopper and place it like this. And then have another observer coming away from this hopper toward this one. So crouch and place it like this. Now we need to place 2 blocks like this. 1, 2. 1 up here. Then carry on this line. 1, 2, 3. And that's it. Sorry, 1, 2, 3. After that, place 2 blocks like this. 1, 2. 1 here, and 1 up. And remove this block. And now we can place in our comparators and our repeaters. So we need 2 comparators going toward that block. And 2 on this side, but facing the other way. 3 redstone dust like this. 1, 2, and 3. Make sure you crouch. Dust here. Then have 4 repeaters, all on 4 tick delay, going toward this dust. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And dust. 2 repeaters facing toward this block. Like that. And then finally, we need another one here on 4 tick delay going toward this block here. And dust. And before I forget, you need to place an observer here. And then you want to go into your dropper. And you want to place it in however many items you want. So it's between 1 and 10. So like I said earlier, if you want to have a game where you have to hit 6 minecarts, you place in 6 items. If you want a game where you have to hit 7 to get a diamond, you place 7 in, and so on and so on. Now we finished literally all the redstone in this little area here. Now we need to expand it out, okay? So firstly we need a block next to this one. And dust. A block next to that repeater. Block here, 1 out. And have a repeater coming away from that block. Going into another block like that. And then have a line of blocks 5 long. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All with dust. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Then a temporary block here and 1 up. Remove this one. A sticky piston facing toward the front. An observer. Then a temporary block next to the observer. 1 out. Remove this middle one. A torch up. Grab a dropper. Place it toward the left. And then have our chest here. So this is the chest where we place our payment item. But also we get our reward item back. And our reward items go in this dropper here. Okay, so after you've done that, place a block next to this chest and a button on it. Then grab a sticky piston and face it downward like this. Then have an observer here. Place 1, 2, 3 blocks down and remove the first 2. And then have a repeater on 4 tick delay coming away from where that observer will go. That observer goes here and it powers that repeater. Then place 1, 2 blocks out and dust, which I forgot to grab, like this, 1 and 2. Have a sticky piston facing like this. Temporary block here and 1 up. Then have a hopper going toward that block, and we can now remove that block. And in this hopper, we'll need 18 of your payment items. I'm using Prisming Shard's rename token, but you can use whatever you like. And then 4 blocks you're never going to place in your system. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. After that, place a block next to this hopper. Make sure you crouch. Block here and 1 out. And have a comparator which should turn on because it's detecting that hopper. Then have a block here and 1 to the side and 2 bits of dust. Only the 1 should be activated. Then grab a sticky piston and place it next to that dust, like so. Have a hopper facing downward, and then a chest here. So now when I place a token in our chest and press this button, it should take it and then put it in this chest. Brilliant. But if I put anything else, for example, oak wood planks, press the button, it won't take it. Perfect. Okay, so the very last thing we have to do is firstly place a block next to this block here with a repeater on it into a block. Then have a dropper facing toward the left. Temporary block here and 1 out. And then have another dropper facing toward this one. Beautiful. Remove this block. In this first dropper, we need to place any old block you don't mind throwing away. 2 blocks down like this. Remove the first one and have a comparator coming away from it, which should turn on. Then have a block here and have a sticky piston which should extend with a block on its face. Then place a block off the side of this dropper, 1 here, and have a repeater on 4 ticks going toward that block. Temporary block here and 1 up. Another 1 out, and have another repeater on 4 ticks going toward this block. Then place blocks like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On this block, we need a repeater, then dust and dust, another repeater going toward the left, and then 3 bits of dust. And surprisingly, that's everything completely done. So that's a payment system. And then if you place a button here, this would be your confirmation. So you know on this one here, we have to pay, and then we press this button. That's exactly what we're doing here. But if you want the button where I've got it here, which I'd highly recommend, all you have to do is place a block here, 1 up, 1 out the side, have a repeater on 1 tick, block here, 1 up, dust on it, and then your decoration block, and have your button. Now before we just give it a quick test, we firstly need to fill up these dispensers with our minecarts. So it needs to be 6 in each. 6 is the exact amount you need. 5, and sometimes you'd run out of minecarts, but you need exactly 6. And on this side. You can put 7 if you like, but that's just a waste of iron. So 6 in each. And then basically place in your flooring. See where I'm going with this? Basically just decorate it however you like. And then give it a go. So let's grab a bow. Oops. I've only got 1 arrow. That was smart. Let's go some more arrows. There we are. What I have to do is firstly pay. So I've got some tokens in there already. Press this button. Should only take 1 token. And then when I press this button, our game should start. And are you ready? So when I press this button, this game should start. Let's go. 1, 2, oops, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, oh crumbs, 8, 9, and we should have exactly 10 minecarts. That's 10. There we are. But I scored 8, and there we are. There is my diamond. Shocking performance by me, but there we are. I got the diamond. Now, of course, this bit is completely up to you how you decorate it. It really is. It's completely up to you. So as you can see, you can decorate it however you like. So you can see what I've done. I've decorated literally every bit. So these are the slabs in the front. These are the surrounds. You can see the cacti there. It's exactly the same as you saw earlier, but it's just decorated in every inch. And this is the end of the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. If you did, like this video or like this design, please please give us a like. And if you really loved it, make sure you subscribe with that wonderful subscribe button for more awesome content. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one, and I'll see you later. Bye!